talk about culture and how do you crack the culture code. One thing that I loved about this event is that we are in Paris, and it is in person, and yet we're doing it in English, and I see people coming from all over. So one question I have for you is how many of you have already had some sort of awareness about cultures? Raise your hand if you have. 100%. I'm in the right place. All right. So my other question is, have you ever noticed that McDonald's have different menus in every country? We have a McCafe in France with macaron. I don't think we could see that in the US. So what this tells us is that McDonald's actually have a strategy that is culturally intelligent. What they are doing is they're adapting to their consumers around the world so that they can penetrate the markets, expand, and grow their business. So cultural intelligence has a direct impact on business outcomes. It's not a nice to have thing. And yet, most organizations to expand and grow need to expand in diverse markets. When I say diverse, it doesn't have to mean international, it could be even local, but different markets. And yet, 70% of international ventures fail because of cultural differences. There are other statistics as well that show that the best way to effectively reach these diverse markets is to have diverse workforces. You guys. And yet, it's the biggest challenge of leaders to work across different cultures. I'm not going to dwell on that. There are so many facts. I'm sure you would agree. I see nothing else. The cost of miscommunication in different cultures. I've had many conversations tonight that actually prove that. All right. The Cultural Intelligence Center did the research to understand the impact of having good cultural intelligence and having training people actually on it. And they realized that it improves effective leadership, higher team performance, and more engaged and retained employees. So all these facts actually lead us to believe that there's something into that we need to explore further. It does have impact on not just people, but also the revenue of the organization, which every company is trying to make. So what is cultural intelligence? The Cultural Intelligence Center actually defined cultural intelligence as the capability to function and relate effectively in culturally diverse situations. There is another definition that I really like, much simpler. It said that it's the aptitude for embracing the unfamiliar without judgment. And it takes practice. So the words that you see I highlighted here, I did that on purpose because it's something we can develop. When you look at capability and practice, it is something we can develop. So let's get into that. By a show of hands, I want you to tell me for each statement if you agree with it. International experience predicts cultural intelligence. Who agrees with that? Raise your hand. Right. Technical competence predicts success. That is culturally aware. High EQ predicts high CQ, high emotional intelligence. All right. And diversity predicts innovation. All right. None of you are wrong, none of you are right. But the reason why I asked this question is that international experience, having traveled and lived in different countries, helps you become more aware, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are more culturally intelligent. There are lots of things you need to do to get there as well. So it's not and or, you need to do more work on that. Technical competence is important, it's a backbone, it's important, but we know that in order to succeed, that's the one that no one raised their hand on. It's obvious that we are here, we work in learning because we believe in human skills. This one, most people raise their hands. Actually, emotional intelligence is very cultural. The way we express our emotions is very different from one place to another. And this means that even though you could teach people about emotional intelligence, there is a cultural element that you need to add to it. So it's a very important foundation, but you still need to take a different lens to it. And diversity is definitely important, but it's not enough. It's not because you have a diverse team that they are more creative. So what is it that makes people successful in working culturally, in culturally diverse situations? The Cultural Intelligence Center identified 4 capabilities. The first one is called CQ Drive. John talked about curiosity. It's about being curious and having an open mind. Lots of the things he said. That's CQ Drive. Having the motivation, the confidence to say, okay, I want to learn more. I don't want to judge others from the first impression. Then then CQ knowledge. CQ knowledge is knowing that in Japan, people are implicit in their communication. And they're not going to tell you no in your face. So that's getting more curious, learn about it, read about it. And then CQ strategy is adapting your style. You know you're going to go into a meeting to discuss a topic with people from a certain culture or background. Get to know them, have a strategy in place. Don't go just improvise. And the last one is the action. Action is actually when you're doing everything you guys have been sharing, but practice. And then learn from your mistakes, seek feedback. And these are very powerful capabilities. We often get stuck in the CQ knowledge and we think that because we know, I've read a lot about it, then I'm good. It's not enough. It's just one of the capabilities. So my question for you is how can you as L&D leaders develop cultural intelligence? We will share that to somehow get a sense of that. I'm not going to ask the question because I think yes. But I'm going to give you just a few ideas, and I mean, this is just a brainstorm because I wanted to have something on the slide. Lots of the things everyone shared, experiential learning, definitely, like the man was saying, cultural, immersive experiences, the cross-cultural training that we've all done somehow just to raise awareness, but awareness is not enough. Mentoring, coaching, like across the whole learning experience. Having a CQ lens in all learning programs, this one I added because, you know, when we talk about negotiation, when we talk about trust, why not add this element that, you know, things may not be the same everywhere. How do you earn trust in a certain culture versus another? Just think about these things. Get this lens everywhere. The thing that frustrates me is that I don't see cultural intelligence in the top 10 skills in any report at any year. And yet, I want to ask you, in your opinion, which of these skills would be influenced by cultural dimensions? If you look at them, like this is the World Economic Forum most recent report. All of them? Yeah. All of them. It is intrinsic to all of the skills that we're trying to develop that are the top skills in our workforce today. So I'll leave you with just one sentence that I really love from the culture map. We are all the same. We have all the same basic human needs, and yet we are all very different and very unique. Thank you.